What makes Madrid Madrid? I'm trying to grasp that. I just got back yesterday from 3 weeks in Madrid, my first visit. It might not be my last because it has pleased me a lot. I went in July. Everyone would say you are absolutely crazy going in July. And yes, I will tell you a little bit more about that later. First, what stood out to me? One of the surprising things was that the tap water is incredibly tasty. That's already one recommendation. Do not bother buying bottled water. The tap water is absolutely fantastic. I think it can compete with the tap water of Iceland. Glaciers, pristine nature. But we're in Madrid. We're in the middle of Spain, surrounded by quite barren landscape, super dry. But this is actually the beginning of Madrid. There was so much water in this area, and that's why an Arab king, he established Madrid because of all the water there and also because of its strategic location in the middle of Spain. It is a bit of a city of wealth, I would say. Still, the Salamanca area is the richest of the whole of Spain. When it was established as a capital, it really was a city of one monumental structure after the other. It was to attract the aristocracy. It was to see and be seen. You can just walk and be mesmerized all the time in the old town center. And it's easy to walk around there. It's only a few kilometers. The surface of all the barrios, all the neighborhoods in the center. You might want to stay maybe elsewhere if you would like to retreat from the hustle and the bustle and then go back into all the life. Talking about life, Spanish people are known to be very loud. For some reason, they yell all the time. And I downloaded an ebook by an English journalist for The Lonely Planet who's been living in Madrid for a long time. I will link it. I love her introduction to her book called Quiet Madrid because Madrid really isn't known to be a quiet place. And her analysis is that for the Spanish, it's about dispelling bad vibes. Like they don't like silence. And loneliness should be shared. So they meet up all the time. They're in bars, they're in coffee bars, they're in terraces, neighbors will chat. It's a chatting, it's a communicating, it's a socializing society. And noise seems to be a cultivated art form. Better having noise than some eerie silence. Something else that you really notice vision-wise is there are hardly advertisements, and this is a conscious choice of the government, and it makes for such a peaceful walking around. You are not bombarded with advertisements. The only advertisements you see really are in bus stops. It's very easy to the eye, and that combined with all the beautiful architecture, everything's very stylish, I would say, very tasteful. Beautiful. It's a city of beauty. A lot of people will go to more like Barcelona or Valencia, cities on the seaside. But Madrid doesn't have sea, and therefore it will, I think, always have less tourists, even though there is some tourist fatigue. Somebody told me, where are the quiet Sundays? Now they're woken up by the sound of trolleys, of tourists walking through the streets. They're not taking it too seriously. They're not gonna I don't know what they're doing in Barcelona. The tourism is different. You don't get stag parties of 15, 20 people just being like silly. It's the tourism for the culture, right? There are incredible museums, the beauty of the city, the history. It's a more acquired taste, and therefore it will always be, I think, an easier location to travel to if you are that kind of person as well. In terms of shops, of course, it is completely over the top. It's a Valhalla for shopping. Personally, I would stay away from the bigger streets where you have all the chains. Just meander your way through all the small streets. They are so pretty. Such a beautiful ambience, and the little stores will surprise you. Now, talking about the summer, July is fierce. Of course, that's to be expected. Lately, it has become more hot. So if you look at the average temperature, calculate a few degrees extra. And what is strange to me, I never experienced that before, the peak is at 6 o'clock, not 2 or 3. No, it just warms up gradually. And 6 o'clock, you start feeling like you have weights in your legs, and it just peaks till 10, 11 o'clock in the evening. And siestas are held in an insane time slot of 2 afternoon till 10. That is when people ideally would have a siesta and then come out later. And then they also recommend to get up early. So when do they sleep? I don't know. And this is something I do wonder for the whole of Spain. Their rhythm is quite beating. And I think they might be largely sleep deprived. But they win a lot of social time. It is a Finnish sauna. The air is ultra dry. And I even had to buy drops for my eyes to make them more humid. I really not recommend you to eat an ice cream for the reason to cool yourself down, because that completely can shock your system, as happened with me. And I was ill for 3 or 4 days. And they all said, that is just what happens here. It happens all the time to us. You need to be super careful. So yeah, the summer in Madrid is basically a little bit dangerous. But you learn how to deal with it, and you learn to plan. They have mercados, covered markets, entirely air-conditioned, and you can have amazing food, a drink, chat along. All that said, it sounds like a nightmare maybe, especially if you're really not keen on heat. I have to say that I got used to it and started to appreciate it. A top tip is use buses. It's like they ride every 5 minutes. They are like a small spa experience, air conditioned. You just can sit down, you can take in all the views, and so well connected. And even on the bus, there are no advertisements. There are these cute announcements of cultural happenings or little tips. All these public places, they're not seen as a way for selling, right? It's like the public space isn't for sale. It's a very calming, dignified life. And then to finish off, something that's also very unique to Madrid is, in terms of immigrants, they have over 1 million Latinos immigrants, South America. Colombians, Venezuelans, Mexicans, and that's different from other European countries where you have many more, say, Moroccans, Turks, North Africans, and that's quite visual as well when you dwell the other European cities, that kind of mixture. But in Madrid, again, it's quite homogeneous in that sense, because the Latinos kind of blend more in. They all speak the same language. Yes, you hear the difference in the accent, but they're all partaking in the same, at least that is the impression that I got. The perk is all the eateries. There are so many like taquerias or Peruvian, Chilean. If you're into Mexican food, you're gonna have a ball. So I think that's kind of it. Would I do it again? Yes. Would I go in July again? Yes, I would. By the way, my attire of this moment, nobody wears that there, sort of. This is for flamenco performances or maybe a wedding. Don't think that you need to wear this to go to Spain, obviously. By the way, everybody's so well dressed there. So well dressed. Lots of natural materials, older people as well. They're beautifully dressed. There is something, I guess it's just the Latin spark, more, I don't know, I'm missing the words for it. You'll have to see it for yourself. Adios.